Are you afraid you're gonna have to pretend to be someone you're not to be successful in your coaching business? This is something that I hear from aspiring coaches all the time. They're afraid that they're going to have to show up in a certain way, pretend to be someone that doesn't really feel aligned with who they are, that they're gonna have to do branding and marketing that doesn't really feel authentic for them, and that you're gonna have to be all over social media, that you can't be an introvert and be successful in your business, and thinking that when you see other people, you're like, that's not really me. How am I possibly going to show up in that way or do that? And thinking that that's necessary to be successful in your business. And so I want to talk about this today. I want to talk about how you can show up and be authentic and be yourself, and actually why this is absolutely essential and makes all the difference between your business staying stuck and not feeling good to you, to really like standing out and having awesome marketing that resonates with the clients you want to be working with. Okay. So I'm going to go through 5 different things that you want to be thinking about when it comes to creating a really authentic and aligned business. This is something that I have done for myself. And I've been in the place where I felt the same way as you did, where I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to show up in this certain way. And it didn't feel right to me. And I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do that. And I've discovered that actually being authentic and showing up as myself, as I do on all these videos, has actually been what has really propelled my business forward. Okay. So the first piece of advice that I want to give you is to stop looking at other people and what they're doing and how they're showing up. So when we get so caught up in what other people are doing, we do not leave space for our own creativity, our own personality, our own thoughts and ideas to come into being, okay? We're kind of like squishing it down because we're so caught up in what is this person doing? What is that person doing? What's the right way to do it? How do I need to show up? Stop doing that, okay? You will give yourself space for your own stuff to come to light, okay? And there's a difference between strategy and looking at and learning like what's the best strategy to build your business versus looking at what other people are doing as far as their branding or kind of how they show up and getting confused about that, okay? So yes, there is strategy that works kind of universally for people. Of course, like little tweaks here and there from person to person. But when it comes to branding, that's totally unique to you. And it doesn't matter what anyone else is doing because your branding is always specific to you, yourself, your personality, your story, your interests, like all those things. And so you don't need to look at anyone else and what they're doing to find your own branding, your own voice, okay? So stop looking. And question for you. I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments. Is this something you find that you get stuck in? Is looking at what everyone else is doing and feeling like you need to show up in that way? Let me know in the comments below. Give me a yes if that is something that you get stuck on. So the second thing to recognize is that your ideal client is looking for you, okay? They are not looking for someone else. They are not looking for you pretending to be someone else. They're looking for you exactly how you are right now, okay? So I think that thought is that we need to be someone different than we are for people to want to work with us. Totally not true. There's literally billions of people in the world, and there are people who are meant to work with you, just you, not you pretending to be someone else. So that means you get to show up totally as yourself, and that when you know who your ideal client is and who you want to be attracting, and you're showing up authentically as yourself, you're going to get that match, right? You're going to get the people you are meant to be working with. And I hear this all the time from my clients. Like I show up as myself and I attract the people that I'm meant to be working with. People who are looking to work with me or someone like me, not me trying to be like someone else who I feel like I should be more like, okay? So start doing this and it will feel so much better to you as well, okay? So the next piece of advice for you when it comes to showing up authentically in your business is you need to just start showing up and sharing and getting visible. And once again, sharing from you, yourself, your story, sharing the things that you're good at, your strengths, like use these things in your marketing. If you're a really good writer, you can do lots of writing. You're gonna say like, I'm not good at video. The thing is, you don't know what you're good at until you start doing it too. So in the beginning, you just have to start trying some things, but most likely you already know that you have certain strengths. Some people are really good at networking and they love that, or really good at giving presentations, or good at like referring back and forth and having those good connections. So you can use your strengths in your marketing, use that to your advantage. Don't get caught up in like having to do it a certain way, okay? The other thing is really sharing your passions and putting that out there. Like I'm passionate about photography and nature and, all those different pieces. I bring it into my marketing because a lot of my clients have the same passions. So you can bring that stuff in, like share your life, share the things you like, the things you're passionate about. And then your personality. So I am me. I show up how I am. People a lot of times ask me like, I'm funny or like making jokes or, can I show up as that person? Of course, absolutely, 100%. You don't need to show up as someone that you're not. Just show up as yourself. And sometimes this takes a little practice, getting comfortable, like especially for me, like videos, like I will say in the beginning, videos were a lot more challenging. I was probably a bit more reserved because I had to think about it a bit more. I wasn't as used to doing it. And so just be aware of that, but just show up as yourself in everything. Don't feel like you have to do it like someone else. Just stop looking at what other people are doing and be present and show up as yourself, okay? So the next thing I want to talk about is the difference between discomfort of putting yourself out there and doing new things, because you will feel this in your business no matter what, okay? You're doing something new and you're getting visible. You're putting yourself out there. It's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel scary. And that is okay. You can do it anyways. This is different than feeling out of alignment or feeling icky in the things you're doing. If you're doing marketing and your posts and what you're doing when you show up feels icky, that's different, okay? So it's okay for things to feel uncomfortable, but you don't want things to feel icky. And so for me, I always go back to like videos, like it took me a while to do videos when I was starting my business because they felt scary, they felt uncomfortable, but they were something I knew I wanted to do and they didn't feel icky, okay? So there's kind of those two different things and you want to differentiate between the two, okay? So the last thing that I want to talk about is instead of getting so focused on what your business looks like and what other people think about it, and really like, I would say like a lot of times people think even like on Instagram, like my feed has to look beautiful and it all has to look the same and it all has to have the same colors and the same feelings and stuff. Like I don't get caught up in that. So like I don't get caught up in that. I post what I want to post. I post what I'm feeling, what I want to talk about, and I post from a place of wanting to share, wanting to inspire, wanting to, talk about my story and help other people. I'm not getting so caught up in the nitty gritty of what things look like and that it all has to look perfect and be totally, having to have like the certain way that it looks and what people are thinking about that. I don't get caught up in that. And I just share from a place of wanting to share and be authentic. And so I would give this piece of advice to you too, so that you don't get so caught up in overthinking everything and thinking about what are other people thinking about this. Instead, just worry about sharing from a place of wanting to help people and wanting to inspire people. okay? And do it from your own unique way, from your perspective, from your experience, because this is what makes your branding. Those are the things, your personality, your experience, your interests, not having certain colors or certain fancy logos. Like, you don't need any of that stuff. I don't have any of that stuff. I've been in business 8 years. Like, no one cares about that stuff. They care about who you are and your message, and what you can help them with, okay? So those are the things that matter, and those are the things to focus on. All right? So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you want more videos like this, subscribe to my channel. Hit the little bell and you'll get a notification each time I post a new video. And if you want to dive deeper into the steps of starting and growing your business, I have a free training that walks you through this. I'll post it below this video. And I want to thank you so much for joining me in this week's video, and I will see you next week.